Live. Welcome, and I'm also going to be on Facebook Live shortly and Periscope, which is Twitter Live. So thank you for joining in this morning for another great live training. Hi, Financially Intentional. Welcome. Hi, Dominican 918. Welcome. So we're going to do a great training this morning, and the Periscope people can see all the boxes I'm still unpacking and some money. That's cool. Hi, Usher86. Okay, Facebook Live is still loading, still thinking. But I wanted to welcome you all. Every Wednesday morning, I do a live training on financial topics about financial freedom. All right. So thank you for being here. Tell me who you are, what your name is. Welcome to YouTube Live as well. I broadcast this live on my blog at yesfinanciallyfree.com. So you can always watch this live on my blog as well, which is live right now. And if you're not on my email list, go to yesfinanciallyfree.com and put in your name and your email, and then you'll get emailed in advance what topics I'll do and when I'm live and all that kind of cool stuff. So it's really awesome. So let me just talk a little bit about who I am really quick. My name is May Doldalau. I live in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm in a condo we just bought in Waikiki. So really excited that I'm a property owner now. Woo! It was a goal from like 2009. I think I made the goal to buy property, and I finally did it this year, like last month with my husband. Actually 2 months ago now. We did it at the end of August. So really excited. Hi, Mr. Infotech. So it's very exciting. Thank you. I know. And I did it the right way. R. Tuxon, welcome. I did it knowing that buying a condo is a liability if you're living in it. So I made sure the mortgage was the same, about the same as paying rent that we were paying. So we're not overdoing it. Hi, I know. Thank you. And it was not exactly easy to figure that out. I have to say, hi, James 17459. Welcome to the scope. So I'm not gonna lie, it was a little challenging figuring all that out, but I did figure it out. So it's good stuff. But anyway, really happy to have you all on. I used to be very bad with money. Back in 2009, when I made the goal to buy this condo, I was not very good with money. I'm not gonna lie. I had like 7 different loans, credit card debts, lines of credit, things like that. I owed about $47,000 in debt at the time, and I only had a salary. I worked at a bank. I was an assistant. Hi, calisthenics educator. Welcome. Hi, Connelton. Welcome. I was working as an assistant at a bank, and it was like I only made about $35,000 a year. Okay, so $47,000 of debt for $35,000 a year is a lot of debt. Okay. Hi, 123 Utah Michael. Welcome. So hi, Dim0009, welcome to the scope. And my Facebook Live is not loading for some reason, not sure why, but hopefully it'll turn on. Somebody's coming on who says, do you want to make some extra cash? Someone's got a deal. Get rich quick, get rich quick. Just kidding. I love it. My channel's not about get rich quick. It is, but it's not. It's about getting rich for real and staying rich. That's what my channel's about. But anyway, so I had a lot of debt, okay? And then what happened was, LOL. Sorry, I just laugh when I see stuff like that. So anyway, a lot of debt, $47,000 of debt. Wasn't good with my money. I bounced paychecks for like utilities, for rent, for all kinds of stuff, right? I was bad, all right? People would ask me how I was doing. I remember one day I had lunch with a friend. He asked me how I was doing, and I actually just cried because I just bounced 3 checks that day. 3 checks. So each overdraft fee was $30 each. So I didn't have enough money in my checking account. Had 3 checks go bad. So $30. So now I owed $90 on top of my checks being bounced. Okay, so it was a bad day, and I just cried. And he was like, hi, FXQ, say no welcome. And he was like, you know, if you're not good with money, you know, I know what it's like, but I'm really good with money, and there's ways to improve. So I follow different routes. Hi, Darren Smith 123. Read a lot of books like this one we're going to talk about today, which is Cash Flow Quadrant. Long story short, in April of 2016, paid off all my debt, all gone. Okay, so it took about 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And then anyway, all my debt was gone. It was amazing. Hi, 105S, welcome. So my debt payments of $1,200 a month were gone. All right. So I didn't have to pay $1,200 a month anymore to pay for all these credit cards and lines of credit and all this crap. And I did the whole, consolidate your credit cards and do a line of credit and then max your credit cards again. That was a dumb idea, but don't do that, okay? Hatella is Gendio. Welcome. So anyways, debt-free April 2016, right? During that whole time, I was investigating, researching how to make passive income because I had read books like this from my financially free mentors who were my age, 30s, Hi Jigsaw Photography. They told me to read certain books, do certain things, like play the cash flow every week, Cash Flow Game by Robert Kiyosaki. Hi JRD24. Wow, lots of people jumping on Scope too. So, binary forks, another random question. Okay, moving on. So, debt-free, April of 2016, making about $500 a month consistently in passive income for my family. In December of 2016, quit my job at the bank because it made financial sense for me to stay home, research investments more and do more investments, and then train other people how to become financially free faster. So that's what I do now part-time. Wednesday is my big day to work on my business. The rest of the time I'm a full-time mom, which is my dream job. I actually love being a mother. It's like the best thing ever. I just love it. So I have a son, he's 4. His name is Jordan, and I just love him. And I have a husband, Jamal, and I love being a wife. So that's really what I love. I love relationships. I love family. So I engineered my life so that I could be a homemaker and also help others do the same thing. So if you love your children and your husband or your wife and you want to have more time with them, then I'm the person to hang out with. Follow me, like me, watch my things. Join my email list. So go to yesfinanciallyfree.com, put in your name and your email, and you'll get all the emails. So today's topic is 11 secrets to make money with your mind. Okay, so it's really exciting to do this topic. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. I think it's going to be fun. And I learned a lot preparing for it. So we're going to get started. But this actually is based on this book, which I highly recommend you guys check out. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And I don't mean just read it. I mean like study it like your life depends on it. Okay, the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And this is from chapter 6. And chapter 6 is called You Cannot See Money with Your Eyes. You cannot see money with your eyes. All right, so people always think they can see money with their eyes, right? Check it out. Counterintuitive, right? I see this money with my eyes. Don't you see this money with your eyes, What do you mean you can't see money with your eyes? Funny, the chapter name, right? The more I learned about money, the more I understood what he was talking about. Because honestly, I think I see money with my eyes, and I think you guys too. But there's a lot of money that isn't seen with the eyes. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the secrets to make money with your mind instead of your eyes. So let's talk about it. And I'm going to go to my blog because I actually wrote out the whole 11 secrets on my blog. So if you ever want to replay or want to recap, just go to my blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com, and you can see it all there. So I'm going to refer there and start. Hold on 1 second. So funny. I try to find the last blog post I did. Anyway, hold on. There it is. Okay. You got to scroll down to the right. Scroll down. It's on the right side. Okay, 11 secrets to make money with your mind. Here we go. So, and my video is playing live on the blog right now. We're going to start with a little intro in the book, which I think is really important because it kind of explains everything. So here we go. In late 1974, this is Robert Kiyosaki talking. Robert Kiyosaki grew up in Hawaii. He grew up on Big Island. All right, I'm on Oahu if you didn't know. Hi, Big Joe. Welcome to Scope. So in 1974, Robert purchased a small condominium on the fringes of Waikiki as one of his first investment properties. Okay, the price was $56,000 for a cute 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit in an average building. It was a perfect rental unit, and I knew it would rent quickly. Okay, I drove over to my rich dad's office, all excited about showing him the deal. He glanced at the documents, and in less than a minute, he looked up and asked, "How much money are you losing a month?" "About $100, I said. "Don't be foolish," Rich Dad said. "I haven't gone over the numbers, but I can already tell from the written documents that you're losing more than that. And besides, why in the world would you knowingly invest in something that loses money? Well, the unit looked nice, and I thought it was a good deal. A little place, and thanks for the heart, and thanks for joining Agility Mobility. Well, the unit looked nice, and I thought it was a good deal. A little paint, and the place would be as good as new, I said. That doesn't justify knowingly losing money. Welcome, Petra Vendage. Smirked Rich Dad. Well, my real estate agent said not to worry about losing money every month. He said that in a few years, the price of the unit will double. And in addition, the government gives me a tax break on the money I lose. Besides, it was such a good deal that I was afraid someone else would buy it if I didn't. Rich Dad stood, closed his office door. When he did that, I knew I was about to be chewed out, as well as be taught an important lesson. On that day, I learned more about money and investing than I had in all my previous 27 years of life. And that's what we're going to do today. Isn't that exciting? So we're going to learn what he learned that day. Akan, welcome to the scope. All right. I don't know what's going on with Facebook Live. For some reason, it ain't working. Something's going on here. I'm going to do one more thing, see if I can revive it. And if not, oh, well. I'm not sure why it's not working. Let's try it one more time. Go Facebook Live. You can do it. Okay. So here are the 11 secrets to make money with your mind. Ready? I'm ready. Hi, Ercom 25. Welcome to the scope. Okay, so let's go. Number 1, people will say you can't do it. So how do you handle that? All right. So what happened was Rich Dad basically talked to Robert and said, listen, you have to go back. You have to cancel this condo deal and start over. Because number 1, your interest rate is too high. You didn't factor in vacancies in this rental property. Hi, American Male. You're losing more than $100 a month, using more than that. And you should not be in a deal where you're losing any money, okay? You should not be in a deal where you're losing any money. So you have to go back and redo it. You have to change the interest rate. You have to change the terms so that you are not a loser anymore. Hi, Bluntland, world closed. So he went back to the real estate agent and he told with a new proposal, rejected the deal. And the real estate agent said this to him. He said, you can't do that. You can't do that. Now, he learned from this whole process that when people say you can't do that, all it means is they can't do that. They don't know how to do that. Doesn't mean you can't do it. If you have a deal that you want, you put it out, you fight for it, and you can get it. All right. But if someone else, like your advisor, says you can't do that, that just means they don't know how to do it. Doesn't mean it can't be done. All right. So that's the first rule. Hi, thanks for the hearts. Hi, BHFGC. Welcome to the scope. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Really appreciate it. So if you hear someone say you can't do that, if you hear someone say you can't do that, don't believe them because you can. All right. So that's the first secret. All right. And this has happened many times. Like I used to work a job, right? And people are like, you can't make passive income, to replace your current income. And all I say is, yes, I can. You can't make money online. Yes, I can. You can't be a mom and be a professional. Yes, I can. You can't make a big impact on the world and be a mother and be a homemaker. Yes, you can. You can do a lot of things. If you put your mind to it, you can do whatever it is that you want. However big you want it. However big you want it, baby. That's what I say. Hi, Rapoha. Welcome. So that's number 1. Number 2, there is 1.4. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. Welcome to Periscope, UHVV, lots of stuff there. Welcome and thanks for joining my Periscope. Appreciate it. Okay, number 2 secret. $1.4 trillion looking for a home. Every day, money is circulating electronically, okay? It's invisible. It's moving around the planet, right? Most of the money transactions that happen today are electronic. Most of the money, the bulk of the money circulating is electronic. It's not necessarily cash, okay? So circulating electronically, everybody, I don't know if you know it, but when I worked at the bank, everything became electronic. Checks. Now you can take pictures of your checks, right, on your phone. Hi, Dan Vinny. Welcome to the scope. And Dan Vinny, why? Are you going to do a service for me? I need someone to install my AC. If you can come here and install my AC and you do it really well, I'll give you a little bit of money. Maybe. Hi, Carlos. Sura, welcome to the scope. Okay, so you have 1.4 trillion looking for a home. how do you access this money? You're from Paris. Bienvenue. Someone from Paris is on the scope. So if you take care of money, if you know how to take care of money, if you know how to handle money, if you know how to make money grow, what will happen naturally is money will flock to you. It'll be thrown at you. People will beg you to take their money. They will beg you to take it. Don't believe me? You just have to learn how to manage money, okay? This is from Robert Kiyosaki, like I said, the cash flow quadrant. The idea is that there's a lot of money out there. People think that money is limited and there's not enough for everyone. It's not true. There is a ton of money out there and it's looking for a home, all right? You just have to know what to do with it. Hi, Sarwan. Welcome to the scope. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? Where are you from? Number 3. Secret to making money through mind. Train your eyes to see only 5% and your mind to see 95% when you invest. This is really important. Actually, it's probably the most important thing on this training today. One of the most important. The average person is 95% eyes and only 5% mind when they invest. Okay? Said Rich Dad. Be sure to only take advice from people who actually know what they're doing and know their numbers and who know how to take care of money. That's good. Hi, Welcome to Scope. So what does that mean? A lot of people, they look at deals, like someone jumped on this Instagram and was like, do you want to make money fast? You know, a lot of people look at that like, yeah, I want to make money fast. And then they just jump into deals without doing any due diligence at all. They don't check out the company. They don't find out if they're rated. They don't research what they do. They don't, you know, do due diligence. They just jump in, throw in their money. Most people do that, right? What about when you start working a job and you get a 401k or an IRA, whatever, right? Do you actually do due diligence and figure out what the funds consist of? What are they investing in? Like, how does this money invested? What's going on? Do you actually do that? That's investing with your mind. If you're investing with your eyes, you just look at things and you're like, oh, that looks good, or that sounds good. I want to make money fast. I want to do that, you know? I want to buy a house, and you don't actually spend the time to research how much does it cost? If I do the mortgage, how much will my payments be per month? Can I handle that? You know, things like that. Hi, Emperador businessman. Welcome to the scope. Most people jump into deals just by the looks, they don't use their brains to invest. A lot of people don't know how to do the math. All right. Quick math lesson. Hi, Mon Butter. Welcome to the scope. I'll do a quick example. I have masterminds where I help people. I train people how to become financially free, right? They come into the group, they pay me, and they're in a mastermind for a year. And all we do is work on making everybody financially free as fast as possible. It's really exciting and fun, actually. If you want to join a mastermind, just contact me. FinanceFreedomMastermind.com is the URL to go to. And then you can apply. You can't just get in, you have to apply. But anyway, one of my mastermind students was telling me, it's awesome. One of my mastermind students told me that he's doing this app called Stash, all right? This app takes money, all right? It takes your money and it puts away $5 a week and it invests it for you, all right? So it's like this app that helps you invest money. Now, the funny thing is, he tells me how much it's making, right? And I'm like, okay, so it's only making 2%, all right? It's only making 2%, all right? So it's not making a lot, all right? Because savings accounts make 1.25. So it's making like a tiny bit more than a savings account. On top of that, it costs $1 a month, all right? So let's figure out the math on this one. Hi, SRH. Welcome to the scope. So then I was like, okay, so what you're doing is you're investing, right? Let's say there's 4 weeks in a month, right? So you're investing $20, right? Okay, so then you're investing $20. You're paying $1. Oh my gosh, my husband's calculator is in euros. Holy cow. It's very confusing. The heck? Okay, so you're spending $1, $1, all right? $1. I put $1 in here, you can't see it. $1 and divide it by 20. So you're actually paying out like 5% as a fee every month, right? 5%. And you're making 2. So you're paying out 5% of your money a month and you're making 2. How does that make any sense? What that makes sense is that Stash is making a hell of a lot of money off my friend, off our mastermind member, right? It's crazy, right? People do this all the time. They look at a deal and they don't use their mind to analyze the deal. Instead, what they do is they look at the money, right? Oh, $20 a month making 2%. And they don't even think about how much it costs, the fees. They don't put all their numbers in and figure it out. That's what it means by investing with your eyes and not your mind. They see this cool new app called Stash, like, yeah, I'll stash my money away. It's crazy. And one of my mastermind members was actually doing that, thinking it was a good investment. Thinking that was a good investment over investing in a stock that paid 16% dividends. I was like blown away that he would think that was a better investment. But I had another student do the same thing. He told me that if you invested $1,500 at 11%, it was a worse investment than putting in $250 into a fund that pays 8%, where he had to pay a fee up front. So he loses money for like a year or two before he even makes any money. So he's not even making 8%, he's losing money. He said that was better than investing in something that paid 11%, which made no sense because people don't understand the numbers. Investing with your eyes. My friend, this advisor who looks real professional told me to do it. I'm not going to spend any time myself figuring it out. I'm not going to use my mind. And that's why people don't have money, because they let other people take their money. Hi, Lee Freed. Welcome to the scope. So you got to train your brain. When you invest, use your brain. All right. And know this is important. A deal is never over until you've handed over your money. Okay. So if you don't like the terms, you can back out at any time. You can back out at any time. You do not have to follow through on a deal that doesn't work out for you. That's the truth. All right. Train your brain to see money. The ability to make money begins with financial literacy, with understanding the words and the numbers. And we just talked about that, right? How do you calculate a percent? If the Stash example, right? You're paying $1 a month. You put aside $20 a month. Okay. Ciao. Welcome to the Periscope, guys. So then take the 1 divide it by 20. All right. And that's how you get 5%. Okay, you can also take 1 if it's 5 weeks in a month and you put in $25 and you take 1 and you divide it by $25 and that's 4%. Okay, you guys understand? So take the amount you invest, take the amount of the fee. Sorry, the fee was $1 a month and divide it by the amount you're investing, and that's the percentage of the fees, right? So if you're putting in $1 and you're investing $25, that's 4%. I think my math is correct, right? That's 4%. Pretty sure. If you're doing $20, it's 5%. So then you know your fees are 5%. So you're investing at a rate where you're paying 5% to invest. So you really have to think about that. Do I really want to pay? I don't speak Italian, sorry. Do you really want to pay 5% to invest your money? You know, you make less in a savings account. Why would you pay someone 5% to invest your money unless they're making you way more, right? Way more. Okay, if I can put my money in a savings account and make 1.25, why would I pay 5% for someone to invest my money when they're only making 2? It makes no sense. People do this all the time. So you have to know your numbers. You have to understand numbers. All right, you have to understand this. Hi, Trabzon. If you don't understand numbers, you might seriously consider taking some classes. You can join my Finance Freedom Mastermind at financefreedommastermind.com. Just take a financial class, take a math class, just study up on the internet. Numbers are important. Hi, D. Cooper Electric. Welcome to Instagram Live. So if you don't know your money math, practice it now. All right, let's think about it. So this condo, for example, let's do another one. No, I don't have cryptocurrency. So let's talk about this condo for a second. All right. We bought this condo. It cost $241,000 US. All right. $241,000. We put down about $75,000. All right. $75,000. If we were to rent this condo, we're not renting, we're staying here because it's not a good investment for renting. But if we were to rent it, we could rent it for like $1,800 a month. All right. So what would be the return of investment? All right, $241,000 condo. We put in $75,000 down payment, and then we have a mortgage, all that. Oh, I forgot to tell you the costs. The monthly costs are about $1,300. Okay, monthly cost $1,300. That's the mortgage, the maintenance fees, the taxes. $1,300, right? Monthly cost $1,300. You could rent it for $1,800 a month. $1,300 monthly cost. $1,800 you can rent it for. The down payment was $75,000. The cost of the condo was $241,000. What is the percentage return on investment if you rent the condo? What is the percentage return? Now, if you're watching this, write down the numbers and figure it out right now. This is called financial literacy. Okay, financial literacy is understanding how to work the numbers. How do you calculate things? Hi, B3KIR38. Welcome to the scope. So let's do it together. Now that you've got the numbers and you've had time to figure it out, let's do it. And then we'll see how your numbers are. Okay, because if you don't know how to do this, you can't make a deal. If you don't know how to do this, you cannot invest in anything. Hi, Rick SC. You have to know how to do this to make investments. All right, so let's talk. Okay. All right, so how do you figure it out? All right, how many years the mortgage? The mortgage is 30 years, 30-year mortgage. But we're going to assume that the return of investment like as of now, okay, not 30 years later, because I didn't give you the cost of the mortgage versus the maintenance fees, so we won't get that complicated. All right. So what you do to figure it out is you figure out the profit, right? So if it's $1,800 is the rent, subtract $1,300 is the cost, right? So you're making $500 a month, right? $1,800 rent, $1,300 cost per month, $500 per month. Okay, hi Spain, welcome. Oh, I have a super fan, TTHA, welcome. Thanks for being a super fan. You are awesome. So if you have $1,800 rent and you're spending $1,300 a month, that's $500 profit a month. Okay, multiply it by 12 because everything is annualized. We always calculate return of investments on an annual basis. So you take $500 profit per month, multiply by 12. You're making $6,000 a year with your rent. Okay, now take the $6,000 and divide it by your down payment, because that was your initial investment. That's the money you put down, $75,000. And then you get 8%. Yeah? So that's your return on investment. If you were to take this condo in Waikiki and turn it into investment, you would be making 8%. Do you guys understand how I did that? Figure out the profit per month, right? $1,800 minus $1,300. Okay, so that's $500 a month. $6,000 a year is the profit. Divide it by how much you invested. You invested $75,000 as a down payment. All your fees, down payments, whatever. Hi, 123 EFS, welcome. Hi, Ramergosuri, welcome to the scope. Thanks for joining in. Take all that. So the $600 annually profit, divide it by what you invested. Hi, Cramble, which is $75,000 down payment, and you get 8%. And that's how you figure out how your investment is doing. That's an 8% investment. Okay, so is that a good investment? It's okay. It's not bad. It depends how good you are at investing. You know, if you can make a 200% return, that's not a good investment, 8%. But if you're doing the stock market and you're only making 8%, then maybe it is a good investment because it's in real estate, which some might say is better than the stock market. Some might say not, you know, but it really depends. Okay, so that's how you understand the money and you train your mind to see money. Okay, if people just tell you buy this condo, do this, do that, it'll make you money, you know, that kind of thing, it won't necessarily make you money. You need to know what you're doing. My husband just woke up. Okay, guys, number 5. So let's do a recap. Number 1, if someone says you can't do that, it just means they can't do that, and just figure it out how to do it and just do it. All right. Number 2 is 1.4 trillion is looking for a home. You just have to know how to take care of the money. Hi, Phillies. Another super fan on. Welcome. Not sure what you mean by follow back. Okay. Oh, looking for a home. If you know how to take care of it, money will come to you. There is not a lack of money in the world. Chicago. Okay. Thank you. Number 3, train your eyes to see only 5% and your mind to see 95%. Well, that's what you're saying. Follow me back. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying. I will see if I can follow you back. There you go. I followed you, honey. Okay, moving on. So train your eyes to see only 5%, your mind to see 95% when you invest. Train your brain to see money. Train your brain. Okay, that means understand the words, understand the numbers, know how to do the money math. And I just did some examples, so practice. Know what real risk is. Okay, that's number 5. Understand each investment, how much is put in, how much the costs are. Thanks. The return, possible setbacks, pluses, advantages. Practice with small investments and work your way up. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I'm on Instagram Live right now. My Instagram is Finance Freedom Mastermind. All right, so Instagram Live, we're broadcasting that. Hi, Alicia. What's up? So the thing about risk is, no, I don't understand. The thing about risk is things are only risky if you don't understand what you're doing, all right? If you don't understand numbers and you don't understand what you're doing, then it's risky. But if you practice investing and you know what you're doing, then you'll radically reduce risk because you understand what you're doing, if that makes sense. So you have to practice investing and you have to get out there and you have to understand what real risk is. Hi, BP Shit Images. Welcome to the scope on Instagram. Bad advice is risky. Our grocery store worthy investment. See, when someone asks you a question like, is our grocery store worthy investment? How are you supposed to answer that? I'm already married. See, I have a son, he's 4. So if someone asks you if something's a good investment, how can you answer? You need to know all of the information, like I just said, right? You need to know what's going on with this grocery store, how long has it been in business, how much money do they make, how much are their costs per month, where's the neighborhood, what's the economic condition of the place. You need to know all that before you can find out if it's a good investment. You understand? And you need to know the capital that you need to invest in it. Maybe it's too much capital, you don't even have it, so it's not a good investment for you, but it might be a good investment for someone else who has more capital, right? So you need to understand all the factors. Bad advice is risky. Most people learn about money by modeling what their parents did with money. All right? Their parents or their teachers or their role models when they were growing up. That's how most people learn about money. All right? They just look at what their parents did and they just do what they did. Now, is that a good way to learn about money? Not necessarily. It depends on if your parents were good at money or not, right? They hear advice or see what others do and they can't tell the difference between good and bad advice. If you cannot tell the difference between good and bad advice, then everything you do is risky. Everything. Like I said, there was this member of my mastermind actually told another member about Stash and thought it was a great investment. And when we did the numbers, he was losing 3% a month. 2 to 3% a month he's losing. And he's telling her it's a bad investment when she's investing in a dividend yielding stock that pays 16%. How can you say that it's a bad investment when you're losing 3% a month? But that's the thing. People will give advice that's not good advice all the time. So you have to have your mind on, you have to brain on, do the numbers and understand for yourself what advice is good advice and what advice is bad advice. You have to understand that. If you don't understand that, then you will always be at risk. Everything's risky. So then it really is the mind. You have to know how to handle money, how to handle the numbers, how to handle the math. And then you understand what true risk is. So that's number 5, is to know what real risk is. Number 6. Okay, hi Kamal, thanks for joining. Thanks for being a super fan. Okay, your advisors are only as smart as you are. This is a really interesting one. If you are financially naive, which means you don't know much about money, advisors by law must only offer you safe and secure financial strategies. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't understand math, you cannot calculate a percent, which I have to tell you, a lot of people don't know how to calculate percents, right? Let's review, okay? What percent of $20 is $1? So if you're paying $1 a month and you're investing $20 and the fee is $1, what percent is the fee? So you take 1, divide it by 20, and you get 0.05. Multiply 0.05 by 100 and you get 5. That's the percent. 5%. That's how you calculate a percent. Again, 1 divided by 20, you get 0.05. Move the decimal over 2 places or multiply by 100. That's the percent. So it's 5%. So if you're paying $1 to invest $20 every month, you are paying 5% in fees. 5% in fees. That's how you calculate a percent, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about still, go online and Google how to calculate percent and practice, because this one math skill might be the most important math skill you need to have when you're dealing with money, because everybody talks in terms of percent. If you don't understand percents, you won't be able to handle money and you won't be able to invest properly. And understand also that everybody talks about percents in terms of annual, so like a whole year. So when they talk about percents, they're talking about whole year. So if they say you make 8%, they mean you over a year, you make 8%. All right, that's what they mean. All right, just so you know. So if you are financially naive and you can't calculate percents like most people, all right, I've talked to, they can't do it. It's amazing, but they can't. So they must, by law, all advisors by law have to offer you only safe and secure financial strategies. All right, so that's like putting your money in a savings account, you know, doing an investment fund with an investment advisor. What about gold coins or vintage comic books? Hold on one second, gotta block one person. Okay, like I said, every investment has its own characteristics. You have to analyze it, all right? For me, when I invest in things, I want it to give me money. All right, so I wouldn't invest in vintage coins and comic books unless they gave me money. Like if I was putting the comic books in a, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book. Rich Dad Poor Dad was his first book. And they had a comic book store, right? And they rented the comic books out. And then they made all this money, right, from renting comic books. And that was the coolest thing ever, right? So if I had the comic books, a vintage comic book store, and it made me money monthly, then maybe I'd think about it. But if it's just something you buy and hold, and I'm not really into that kind of investing. I like to invest where I get money because I'm more of a passive income investor. I invest for financial freedom. I invest so that money comes in and pays for my life and I don't have to work a job, right? I'm an investor. So that's what I like. So that's just me, all right? Doesn't mean capital appreciation is not good. I'm not going to say that, all right? But this condo is totally capital appreciation investment, all right? It doesn't make me anything. Hi, 0352. It's where I live, right? It's where I pay my monthly expenses to live. Hola. Okay, so by law, if you don't know anything about money, if you can't kill it, Wally, welcome. Lots of super fans on. Awesome. Welcome, guys. If you, by the way, I noticed that when you're on my blog, it actually shows that I'm live right now on Periscope, and you can actually click the button and join me live. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, just saying, I think that's awesome. Hi, Nancy Tiscua. Welcome to the scope. Hola, hola. Okay, so your advisors are only as smart as you are. If you are an unsophisticated investor, advisors can only offer you low risk, low yield investments. All right, that's all they can do. My name is May Dilwa. Somebody asked me my name. They just jumped on. Okay. They'll often recommend diversification for unsophisticated investors. So if you don't know what you're doing with your money, what people will offer you is diversified investments, right? Right? So that's what happens. Because you don't understand money, they want to make sure you're in a position where you're likely to win. And if you don't know what you're doing, then diversification is more safe than you going out and just doing anything because you don't know what you're doing, right? So then they offer you diversification. That's for unsophisticated, you don't know math, you don't know how to do percents, that kind of person. Few advisors take the time to teach you. And I know this. I had to learn all my investing stuff by myself, all right? Part of it is because a lot of advisors don't make a lot of money themselves, all right? Part of it is that they're not very sophisticated either. Part of it is what Robert Kiyosaki is saying, all right? He's saying their time is money. Advisors' time is money. Hi, Halda. Welcome to the scope. So if you will take it upon yourself to become financially educated, manage money well, all right, then a competent advisor can inform you about investments and strategies that only a few people will ever see, all right? But first, you must do your part. Thanks for the heart. Hi. Welcome. D-I-K-I Susanto. Welcome. So you have to first do your part and become educated. And always remember that your advisor can only be as smart as you. So the more education you have, the more you understand money, risks, you ask the right questions, the advisor can come back and give you more sophisticated advice. So it really comes down to how educated you are. So if you understand numbers, initial investment, you understand how to calculate return, you understand timing, you understand legality, risk, economic factors. If you understand those things, an advisor can talk to you about investments that suit your needs. But if you don't understand that, then they're going to offer you diversified index funds, things, mutual funds, things like that, things that are safe for the average person who doesn't understand money or is too lazy to find out about money. All right, so your advisors are only as smart as you. That's number 6. Number 7, this is really important. Know the difference between an asset and a liability. So he talks about this a lot in this book, which is really interesting. When you own a house, like I bought this condo with my husband, right? Hi, SH Benny, welcome to the Instagram live. So we bought this condo, and excuse me for a second. Excuse me. All right. Hi, Candace. We bought this condo, and everybody's like, oh, it's a great investment, la, la, la. We bought this condo knowing it was a liability. All right. So a lot of people will think buying a condo is an asset. It's an asset, right? Well, we got a mortgage on this condo. We couldn't afford to, we didn't pay $241,000 cash for this condo. We paid out about $75,000 and another like $3,000 to like fix it up. So $78,000. That's how much. Bless you too. Oh yeah, for sneezing. Yeah. So this condo is where we live now, right? Instead of renting, we live here. We know that it's a liability. All right. A lot of people get confused. They think if they buy a house or condo and they're living there, it's an asset. It's not an asset. It's a liability. How do you know? If you know something about accounting, you'll see these things called balance sheets, right? People will put their assets and their liabilities different columns, right? So for this condo, we have a liability, and that's the mortgage. Yeah. Hi, Bogdanov. So we owe the bank money. Not only that, we owe the county, the city and county money because they charge taxes, and we owe them that forever. There's no 30 years on that. It's forever. Sometimes they increase it, right? In fact, Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, Robert Kiyosaki wrote as well. He said, I don't know if his wife's parents or his parents, one of them, it might have been his wife's parents. Can't remember exactly, but they had to sell their home because the taxes went up so high they couldn't afford to pay the taxes, and they had no mortgage on the home. Okay. So just so you understand that. Hi, Elia. Hi, Trey. Welcome. So the bank, on the other hand, who has a mortgage, we have a mortgage with the bank. The bank has our mortgage, this condo, on their balance sheet as an asset, right? Because we owe them money, all right? So actually it's an asset for them and a liability for us. We owe the bank money. Now, a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand the difference between asset and liability. Asset makes you money. A liability takes money out of your pocket, right? So this condo takes money out of our pocket. We're okay with it because we need to live somewhere. And before we were paying rent, right? So if we're paying a mortgage and maintenance fees instead of rent, it's kind of like the same for us, except that now we have some equity. All right. So it's a better deal than just paying rent, because now at least we can get something back if we sell it one day or whatever. Right. And it locks in our costs a little bit, because taxes are you never know about taxes. But anyway, so we understand that this condo is a liability for us, and the bank, it's an asset for them. But most people don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities. They think their car is an asset. Well, how much does a car cost per month? How much does it make you per month? Well, if you're driving your car, it probably isn't making you anything, unless you're an Uber driver, but still, it probably isn't making you much, because you're still paying for gas and maintenance and your security, your safety checks, and if you're in LA, your smog checks, and if you're, and your insurance and all that. So by the time you pay all the costs of your car, are you really making any money per month? So is it an asset or a liability? Usually cars are liabilities. And people think they're assets, right? Same thing for everything you own. Like, a lot of it is all liabilities. So understand the difference between an asset and a liability is one of the biggest things. An asset is something that makes you money every month. Most people own no assets, zero. Most people have zero assets, nothing. Okay, now I own assets. I'm an investor, which pay us about $500 something a month. That we own assets that pay us that. Okay, and when we bought this condo, we didn't use our assets to buy this condo. Right? The assets that were paying us money monthly, we did not use them. Right? So we still have them. They pay us monthly income. And we know that this condo is liability. So at least we understand the difference. So you need to understand the difference between an asset and a liability, right? To become rich. If you just get a bunch of liabilities, you're just going to get poor. And you're just going to be like everyone else, struggling paycheck to paycheck, not understanding what money is. That's a mental thing. A lot of people don't understand that. When you make a financial decision to buy something, ask yourself, is this going to make money for me every month, every quarter, whatever, or is this going to take money out of my pocket? If it's going to take money out of your pocket, it's a liability. Obviously, you have to pay for things like food and your rent. And, you know, if you need a car, you need a car. I'm not saying you can't have it, but I'm just saying you have to understand it's a liability or an asset. And you have to start buying assets, Going back to the example, well, we'll go back in a little second to the example in this book. So that's number 7. Know the difference between asset and liability. That'll make you a lot of money right there. All right. And then you can stop getting liabilities. Stop. One of the members of my mastermind was like shocked when he read Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's like, oh my God, all my life I've been getting liabilities. I just picked up another liability. I got a kitten and a turtle. Now I have to pay to keep up, you know, keep the kitten fed and the turtle, and like more liabilities. Have to understand what is a liability, what is an asset. Okay. Number 8, understand the game of money. What is the game of money? Do you guys understand the game of money? That's a mental thing. The game of money is who is in debt to whom. Who is indebted to whom, all right? So when I was first starting out with my money, trying to figure out money, that was back 6-7 years ago, I was indebted to credit cards. I was indebted to banks, you know. So I was losing the money game because I was in debt, all right? I was in debt. Now I have no debts to anybody, like no debts. I have no debt, all right? Now people are indebted to me, okay? Hi, Can, welcome. People are indebted to me. I invest in a company. I have a stake in a company. They have debts to me, right? So now I am more wealthy than I was when I had all that debt. Does that make sense? So who is indebted to who? That is the game of money. That's number 8. Understand that. Money is debt. The more people you are indebted to, the poorer you are. The more people who are indebted. Okay, so if you have debt, you're poor, all right? Doesn't necessarily mean you're poor, but the more debt you have, the poorer you are. The more people who owe you money, the richer you are. Does that make sense? And that's how banks work, right? The more loans they have out, the richer, the more money they have, right? If they don't have any loans, they're not making any money. Hi, 5362884. I used to work at a bank, so I know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Debts make the bank money. Money, words that lure you into a losing position in the money game. Okay, so listen carefully. These are words that you will hear that will try to attract you into the money game, into a losing position. People will say things like low down, easy monthly payments. Low down, easy monthly payments. So put a little bit down and you have easy monthly payments. That means you're going to get into debt. That is a sentence that will lure you into a losing position in the money game. Don't worry, the government will give you a tax break for those losses. That is a losing position in the money game. Why do you want to lose money, right? Who cares if you get a tax break? You're losing money. Oh my gosh, right? Tambu, welcome. Never too much, never too much. Welcome. Interesting names you guys got. So in the end, who owes you money? Who owes you? The more people who owe you, the richer you are. All right? So you really have to think about that right now. That's the game of money. That's how it works. That's how it's played. So if you don't know, if you owe a lot of other people money and no one owes you money, that's why you're in the predicament you're in. And that's why you're not wealthy. You have no money. There's no passive income coming in per month. Nobody owes you money. That doesn't mean go out and lend your money to your friends or anything. Do things wisely, but you understand what I'm saying. Even banks don't just lend out money, right? They do these credit checks. They take collateral. They put you through all this legal stuff, right? They don't just lend you money. Number 9, what is interest rate? What is your interest rate really? What is your interest rate really? This one is really interesting because I actually got confused. When I worked at the bank, I didn't really understand interest rates. And I worked at a bank, for crying out loud. And I know how to do math. But when I found out how interest works in a bank's favor, I was kind of shocked. I was really kind of shocked. And I will tell you why. Okay. So he has a good example in this book. By the way, I'm taking this from Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. If you don't have this book, get it and read it and study it. What he says, because it really illustrates it very well. Okay. So if you have a mortgage, right? Let's say you buy a $100,000 home, okay, $100,000 home, and you make a down payment of $20,000 and you borrow 80. Okay, so you borrow $80,000 and you borrow it at 8%, right? Luckily my percent is only 3.5, but you know, back then it was 8%. You have a 30-year term from your bank. Okay, so 30-year mortgage, 8% on $80,000. In 5 years, you will pay a total of $35,220 to the bank. $31,276 of that money is interest, and only $3,944 is debt reduction. Hi, Dennis, Aaron, welcome to the scope. If you take the loan to term or 30 years, you will have paid $211,323 in principal and interest. For a home that only cost you $100,000, you had paid $211,000 for it. Isn't that crazy? Less than what you originally borrowed, $80,000. The total interest you will have paid is $131,323. By the way, that $211,323 does not include property taxes and insurance on the loan. Funny, $131,323 seems to be a little more than 8% of $80,000. It's more like 160% in interest over 30 years. As I said, they are not lying. They are just not telling the whole truth. If you cannot read numbers, you'll never really know. And if you're happy with your house, you'll never really care. But of course, the industry knows that in a few years, you're going to want a new house, a bigger house, smaller house, vacation house, refinance your mortgage. They know it. In fact, they count on it. Okay, so you got to understand what's going on with interest. Like I said, interest rates are based on annual. So the longer the term of the loan, the more interest you're going to pay out, right? Now, I knowingly got into a 30-year mortgage, but like I said, the cost of living in this condo, which we own now with the mortgage, is the same as renting. So for us, it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter. We have to live somewhere anyway. So the fact that the bank is making a lot of interest doesn't bother us because it's the same as if we were paying rent. That's because we understand that this is a liability. This condo is a liability for us. As long as we're not making a profit on it, it is a liability. So if that makes sense to you guys, interest rate, you really have to understand when you get into something with a certain interest rate, the same happens if you owe money or if you're making money. If you're making money, it goes in the opposite direction. And then over time, you make a lot more than you would imagine by compound interest in the other direction in your favor. Right? So if you start investing your money in an investment that makes you 8%, for real, okay, hi, Jay Garrett, Scope, welcome. Hi, Nua More, BKS, welcome. If you get into these investments that make you 8% for real, I'm not talking front, okay, some people do these front-loaded investments or they're paying out so much in fees that they're negative return for a couple of years. It's hard to tell what the real return is, right? Because you're already a negative return in the first couple of years. But if you're actually making 8% in an investment, right? Let's say we start renting our condo. We would actually be making 8%, right? That 8% money, if you compounded it at 8%, it would also grow, right? So you have to understand how that works. Percents and compound interest really is what he's talking about. Number 10, if you take on debt and risk, you should be paid. This is important. And this goes back to his example, all right? His example in the book was the guy bought a Robert Kiyosaki, he bought a $56,000 condo in Waikiki, right? And he was going to take a loss of hundreds of dollars per month, like $150 per month, right? And he was hoping, and he was going to do a tax write-off on the losses. Hi, David Christie, welcome to the scope. And then he was hoping the value in the condo would double, and then he would make all his money back and all that stuff. Rich Dad made him go back, renegotiate the deal. After he renegotiated the deal, he got a new deal where he was making $80 profit a month. And he told him this, if you are going to take on debt and risk, you should be paid, right? Robert was buying a condo. He was getting a mortgage for the condo. He was taking on risk for the condo. He had to handle this condo, make sure he made the payments on this condo. He was taking on all the debt and all the risk. He has to get paid, right? He cannot do it and take a loss of $100 a month. He needs to do it and take a gain of $80 a month. Now, if you He asked, if you had done this deal where you were losing out $150 a month, how long could you do it? What if you had no renters? How long could you last before you couldn't handle your mortgage payments anymore? And he told him maybe a few months at most. And then, because he usually didn't have an extra $150 a month, he might have to take an extra job just to keep this condo. Now he's like, now that you make $80 profit a month, how many of these deals can you do? And he's like, I could do as many as I can find, right? Because if you make $80 profit a month, you can make as many deals as you can find. As many as you can find, because you're profiting. Even with vacancies, even if you can't get a renter, you're still making money. Even if the economy goes down, you have to lower rent, you're still making money. That's how you make a good deal. If you take on debt and risk, you should be paid. Do not take on losing deals. Do not get into a deal like a condo or something, take a loss. Now, you might think this is obvious, but I have a friend, another friend, different friend, who's an investment advisor of all things. Hi, Maria. Welcome to the scope. Friend from an old bank job I had, who, like I said, is an investment advisor, owns a property where he takes a loss, $100 a month. Owns a property where he takes a loss. It's an investment property. Hi. Why would you own a property and take a loss? If you take on debt and risk, you should be paid. Do not get into deals where you're taking a loss every month. Do not take deals where it happens all the time. I'm in Hawaii. I'm in Hawaii in a condo. Number 11, understand the difference between facts and opinions. This is the last one, okay? This one's really important. People don't understand this. When I read it, I was confused. Understand the difference between facts and opinions. What are opinions? So listen to this. These are all opinions. You should marry him. He'll make a good husband. Find a secure job and stay there all your life. Doctors make a lot of money. They have a big house. They must be rich. He has big muscles. He must be healthy. This is a nice car, only driven by a little old lady. There is not enough money for everyone to be rich. The earth is flat. Humans will never fly. He's smarter than his sister. Bonds are safer than stocks. People who make mistakes are stupid. He'll never sell for such a low price. She'll never go out with you. Investing is risky. I'll never be rich. I didn't go to college, so I'll never get ahead. You should diversify your investments. You should not diversify your investments. Those are all opinions. Can you understand how they're opinions? I mean, when I first listened to this, I was confused. I'm like, those are opinions? They're opinions. If someone tells you you should diversify their investments, what do they know about you? What do they know about your money? Have they seen your balance sheet? Do they know what you're doing with your money every month? How do they know that you should diversify? How do they know you shouldn't diversify? They don't see what you're doing with your money. These are opinions about what you should do about your money. The only way to make it a fact is to analyze it, to really think about it, right? If I did diversify, if I did not diversify, what are the pros? What are the cons? How much money would I have to put in invest? All these things, all these factors, right? So these are all opinions. Every day we hear opinions. You need to understand an investment, you need to understand the difference between fact and opinion. Ask all the questions and then analyze, and then that's how you can create a wise investment strategy. Okay, so that's it for today. I just want to say thank you for joining in. If you are interested in getting more information about becoming financially free and want to talk to me about it, like want a free consultation, I'll talk to you on the phone, we chat. Not really consultation. I just talk to you, find out what your goals are, help you become financially free. Then go to financefreedommastermind.com. Right, enter in your information and I'll call you. It asks you when is a good time to call all your information. And then we'll talk about your money situation and how to get you financially free as fast as possible. And if you're interested in a Finance Freedom Mastermind, you can talk to me about it then. I don't take just anyone. It has to be someone who really wants to be financially free. I mentor you for a year, and I don't want to put a year's time into you if you're not serious. So if you're really serious, then I can help mentor you to become financially free as quickly as possible. And also join the email list, yesfinanciallyfree.com. Go to the blog. This webinar is playing live on it right now, and the replay is there as well. You can join the email list by entering your name and your email on the side column of my blog. And then you'll get notices on when I have these webinars, what topic we'll be doing, and how to join in live. Thank you for being a fan of Instagram, on Periscope. Thank you so much, all my super fans. Thank you, everyone who joined in. Everyone who gave hearts, I'll go check you out real quick, and I'll follow you back. And thank you for all the people following on YouTube as well. Really appreciate it. If you want a summary and a recap, just go back to my blog, yesfinanciallyfree.com, and check it out. If you're on YouTube, the link is underneath. Aloha, guys, and see you next week. Bye. Have a great week, and I will have a great topic for you again. Aloha.